Hello there. Today is only a few days from the end of the year. It's the 28th today. And I want to tell you about a little experiment. It's an experiment that Ryan and I did this year. Every week, almost every week, on Sunday, we wrote down what our win of the week was. So now we have this jar of all these little pieces of paper that are the win of the week for us. And this was actually a harder experiment or harder exercise than I thought it would be. I mean, celebrating wins is hard for me. I knew that to be the case, which is partly why we're doing this. But some weeks, it was really hard to come up with anything that was a win, like at all. I'm pretty sure one week I said that I vacuumed. That was my win because I just couldn't win that week. Like it felt like everything had just fallen apart. I mean, not really, I'm being dramatic, but like that week, it felt like I literally couldn't win. And so, yeah, I wrote like, I vacuumed. But it was a good exercise to remind us that we are winning every week, even if it's just a little bit. Sometimes I wrote down that I had made strides or I had furthered a project. I hadn't completed that project, but I had I had worked on it and things were progressing and it was moving forward. Because I think it's really easy to say, oh, well, that project's done, yay, win, and then move on. But it's harder to say, oh, I made progress. I made progress on this project and I'm happy about that. Because I know that they're especially with big projects, even not huge, even a tax return, I could spend a couple hours on a tax return and then maybe I don't finish that day or something, or it took a lot longer during the week than I thought it would. But just getting to the end of the week and being I worked on that, I worked hard, and we're making some good headway. I have some questions that I need answered and there's still things to do, but we're doing it. So I'm not going to read all these because there's tons of them. And Ryan and I are doing this on the 31st. But I thought I'd read just one. And I have to get them out. I guess I could just read one of the top ones. Okay, let's actually pick one of the. So we started doing this on paper that was like cardstock, and then now we've moved to these thin papers. You can't tell the difference on the camera. All right, so some of them are really small. This is December 7th, 2019. And I had spent a few hours chatting with a colleague in town. And that was the win because I had learned a lot about the little things in running an accounting firm, like what tech I should be using and what pricing model I could be using. So just the little things like that. And in some cases it was oh, well, I didn't actually accomplish anything. Or, in some weeks I did a podcast or I did something that felt like somebody else had actually done it, but that I still wrote it down because it was still I had fun and I enjoyed it and I'm proud of it or whatever the thing is. So I'm excited that we did this for 2020. Because what a year to do weekly wins. We've never done this before, but I saw this last December, and so we just started doing it at the beginning of December. So I really encourage you to do this. We haven't even read them all yet, and it's still been a super rewarding exercise, and it brings us together. Every single week I sit down with Ryan and I say, hey, how did you win this week? And then we chat about it, and then a lot of times that leads to how are you going to win next week? And we just chat about what's going on in our lives. And so it's been a really good communication tool for us, but also helping us to feel like we're actually getting somewhere instead of just moving the goalpost every time you get there. Something I do. Let me know if this is interesting for you or if you can relate or what do you think? What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you're going to do it next year. This was one of those things that I was like, hey, we should do this. And he's like, yeah, okay. And then we did one and I thought, oh, well, we're going to end up just forgetting. But we did it. We did it all year. Pretty happy with that. Let me know in the comments. What are your thoughts? I'll see you tomorrow.